folks, to another episode of Pints And Brown Envelopes. And today we've got Gary Brown on the other line with us. Gaza, how we going?
Not too bad, mate. Glad to be here.
Yes, thanks very much for coming on, mate. In terms for people who don't know, you're currently playing Ballyclare, but you're a bit ghosting at the minute. You haven't been there.
No, I've been wee chocolate man this year, so I have. Obviously, the injuries are playing up, and haven't hit the ball all this season, so unfortunate, but these things happen when you get older, you know.
That's it, yeah. I've been few too many seasons for that type of carry on for injuries, so I know exactly where you're coming from. As you know, earlier I said to a few of the guys about questions and stuff like that there. James McMullen's come up with a good one for you. What he'd asked basically, is it true that the HMRC are chasing after you for all these years of fraud for purchasing kids' boots rather than adults' boots?
I don't think, well, to be honest, I think they might be when they find out my age, but at the end of the day, mate, it's the shoe size that counts, isn't it?
That's it, 100. Knock about in size 4 all you can.
Well, that's it, mate.
So what we'll go through basically, we'll just crack right into it, mate. You football. Started off at the mighty Chimney Corner then with myself, didn't we?
Indeed, mate, yes. Chimney Corner Hawks, as they were called back in the day. Great memories. Absolutely smashing memories, mate.
You were a goalkeeper?
Surprisingly, yes. For my height, I don't think too many boys would actually believe me if I told them, but you're a witness to that. You've seen it. I loved it, mate. Just down about getting dirty. That was what it was about.
Cause that's it. Like, I remember the team we had was a decent enough side, but we never no goalkeeper.
No, I think
I
think it was actually wanting to play outfield, and as you say, we didn't have a goalkeeper, so I think Dom just sort of put boys in nets and training. And to be fair, I think I really liked it. So my man will tell you, just going down about getting dirty, that was my thing. You know what I mean? So when they say you have to not be mad to be a goalkeeper, like, and to be fair, I think I was a wee bit mad when I was younger. Like, I just not my age, you know. So
definitely. But the early memories of Mollusk then, obviously being a goalkeeper must have been daunting in them big nets, considering your free foot.
Oh, mate, them nets were a nightmare. Like, I wish I was playing now in nets. Really didn't give me a chance, but to be fair, there's times that I held my own.
Big time.
Most of the teams, they're all decent teams, but I mean, the likes of your DC and your Celtic boys were the two big ones, because, mate, you know what they're like, boys from Belfast, they hit it in the roof and net every time, mate. So when you're 2 foot nothing, you don't have really much of a chance, like, to be fair.
To be fair, our wee team, like the first year we did the Blast, we held our own.
We had like, you look at the
players in that team, like,
you know what I mean? The likes of Sturdy Burrows, Henry Nutter, you know what I mean? Sticky yourself, Brab, mate, just throw the gallers from the street, but boys that could actually handle themselves and play a bit of football too, mate, to be honest.
The guys quiet compared to these boys, but you was like the crazy gang, just all the Nutters, Browns, McNallys all together. A big family club, 6 brothers and cousins all playing.
I know, mate, I know. And to be fair, I think it brought that there sort of helped bring a lot of players out of their shell too. I don't think you were the only one that was a quiet player either. But everybody knew what they had to do, and everybody backed each other up on the pitch, and that's what football's about, sticking together as a team.
Yeah, that's it. I remember, I don't know if you remember this, we played it, I don't know who we were playing, but down the Lockside pitch. So there, at that stage, you had you, Steaky, Rab, Henry, Jamie. There's at least five relations there. Steaky get clipped off the ball. But the guy who done it was fucking massive, and every all of us was scared. But we Rab, who's smaller than you, comes in 2 foot, you're fell in the chest.
Yes, and I think actually that day Steaky gets sent off for that too. So he did today. I think that was actually Dom's fault, because I remember Dom telling us that these boys were big lads, and that he knew that Rab wasn't allowed red sauce. So I think before the match, Dom had actually got a chip and says to Rab, eat that there, and I think there was red sauce on it. I can remember actually looking at him going, Dom, he's not allowed red sauce. And Dom's thinking going, I know, what do you see? And you can just tell, as soon as we got out for the warm-up, he was just buzzing about up and down the pitch, going, control yourself. And it was just just a blinkers on. That was it. Just mental. And then that happened. He got Sticky sent off that day for getting tackled.
Yeah. I'd never seen anything like it. It was like something out of wrestling, like WWF. He just drop kicked your fella out of nowhere.
It was like Rey Mysterio made just a drop kick. So
we're just missing the mask.
I think your big man sort of got up after him. Was like, that was a bit crazy. And he didn't. I don't even think he said anything. He just walked away. To be fair, but
I think he turned white. I think they just shit himself. But the team itself, the team itself, as we touched already, like we're a decent side. I think it was, you're saying Celtic Boys, Donegal Celtic. The ones I remember was top was Newhill. But
Newhill,
we always ran them close. It was, I would say, if it was the tables in it.
We actually the first year they weren't in the league, but the year after that, I think we played them up at I think it was the short oak pitches, and I went in I think it was one each or something, and I went in the extra time and penalties. I think that was the day we beat them in penalties in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, something like that.
Beat them 2-1 in penalties.
Yeah,
I'm near sure it was them because I can remember myself getting annoyed for the first penalty, obviously doing that, and these boys thinking that they're going to tank us, and coming off after they scored the first one, got my fingertips to it. I hated conceding goals. I remember my dad calling me and saying, "Listen, you know what you've got to do. Get in there and just do what you're going to do." And I saved the next 4. And to be fair, the boys, like, it was a real poor day, and the rain was belting down. And the boys were that excited that there was a big puddle at the side of the pitch, and we were celebrating. I ended up at the bottom of the pylon, and I was near drowned.
Drowned.
And then just that low, but no, that was probably one of the best games I think we had as at that level and that team.
But no, like I remember, as I say, we're maybe probably 10 to about 13 or something when that was happening. So that was our first real experience, and then my first experience of heartbreak as well. Like that next year, you then joined Antrim Rovers, we Dick.
To be fair, it actually wasn't the next year. It took a year out. I'd stopped playing. I can't mind. I don't know what had happened. It took a year out, and I was doing nothing, absolutely nothing, just kicking a ball about the street and stuff, and I had no intention of going back to football. And it was actually Butch Dingle, Alan Carmarth, as he's well known, came to me one day and says he was going to go and train with a team, and was interested in stuff. And at that time, I'd stopped doing that. I was running about, didn't want to do that. Just wanted to go and play out and run and try and score goals.
Yeah.
I decided, right, I'll go and give it a go, see what it's like. So I went anyway. But yeah, I went down the Rovers and was flying. Was loving it. I actually got a chance to play up front. I joined halfway through the season. Scored about between 19 and 23 goals, I think it was, in the first season. I think I actually tied joint top goal scorer, but obviously hadn't been there the full year. So obviously awards night came and obviously cast aside. But for me, it was just about getting experience, getting goals. The next year, man, it was even better because we had another good team. We had the likes of Dean Strana came in, Jason Floyd, Big Doc and Nets. I thought boys like the cousins were crazy at Chimney Corner, mate, but these boys were nuts, absolutely nuts. So they were. I can mind Big Doc for playing Celtic boys in Mollusk, and they were beating us. I think it was 2-1 in the last 5 minutes, and we got 2 corners and scored from them. And next minute they didn't make it, so they started trying to kick boys for the last 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah. But in them days, obviously, you know yourself, you had to change in the same changing room.
Same changing room, man.
So I think it was near the last kick of the ball. Somebody had 2-footed Big Doc, so he decided to chase him on halfway up the pitch and hit him a dig. And next minute there was just a big free for all. So it all got calmed down as soon as the whistle went. You're straight in the changing room because you knew them boys obviously into your stuff was getting to you like the place in the showers or something. So, but as I say, mate, yeah, Antrim Rovers, big rival from Chimney Corner, but gained a lot of experience there.
Yeah. So what did you stay there to about 15, 16, then
Was there
moved to adult
till
football?
yeah, I was there to the end of the season. I was 14, and I had a sort of fallout with one of the pre-season friendlies with the manager just before the season started, actually, for under 15s, and decided that was me done. I was going to go, and because the older brother Stiggy had been training with Abbeyview, so I left them and thought, right, I'll go and train with these boys, see what it's like, men's football. May as well get into it now and see how I'm going to cope. But sort of woken up brave and quick whenever I was going to training, because the likes of Big Vic Gibson, big man, just hit you. There was no if, buts, or maybes. Didn't care what age you were, what height you were, how strong you were. That big man hit you, you were hit. And there's him and Scobie Todd and that, but they had a great side at that time too. But it was hard to break into. But thankfully, they gave me a chance, and played a few games off the bench at the start, and then started to get regular game time, which was very good, because a lot of people don't realise that obviously stepping up from kids football to man's football is a brave leap, and to do it in that Saturday morning league back then was a lot harder, because the teams, it's not like it is now. There's more players in it now, whereas back then it was more of a pub league, and boys were just out to kick you. You know what I mean? And I'd never experienced that in my life.
That's what I was going to say. The terms for, like, I played men's football when I was 16, but like, even at 15 years of age going into the Saturday morning league, you must have been shitting yourself.
Oh, mate, there was games there. You're in there, you're nervous, you're sort of shaking before you go out, but whenever you look around you and you know you have the likes of Big Vic, Jim Gallagher, and your boys there that are telling you, listen, get stuck in these boys, and if something happens, we're the boys that's going to deal with it. You know what I mean? So your boys are trying to push you on, but protect it at the same time, if you know what I mean. And to be honest, it really helped me in my development further on in my career. Well, I think it did anyway.
Yeah, because even, like, we'll touch on it later on when you're playing stuff, but when I was playing with Chimney Corner in that later years, that you're always aggressive, you're always strong, and everyone misinterpreted your height.
Yeah.
You know, they always think, oh, that we might not be able to do much, not realising that you're strong enough, you could hold your own, you could jump, things like that.
Oh, that's it, mate. It came from them training at the Abbeyview, like, you know, Big Vic and Jim, them boys were the heavyweights of that league, mate, and them boys are doing it to men. And whenever they're doing it to you in training, mate, you've no other option other than either give up or dig the heels in and just get tough. And to be fair to them, I've said to them when I've seen them that I'm glad they've done it, because if they hadn't have done it, mate, God knows where I'd have been playing. You know what I mean? It might have got to where it got to. So it might not.
That's what I was going to say to you in terms of, although it's a tough school, were you glad that you went through that way rather than played kids football to 17 and not get hit by a man in the tackle? It would be hard just to adjust to it then. Like.
Well, 100%. Like at kids level, under 14, you get hit by bigger lads, but they're still the same age as you. They may be a wee bit stronger, but it's nothing like a man hitting you, a full grown man.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it was a real shock, because I was going down there expecting these boys to be poor, these boys to be just be able to run by them and just get away with it. You know what I mean? I mind Big Vic telling me one time at training, and I went by him with the ball one time, and he says, "See you next time." He says, "You may get by me, the ball won't, or the ball get by me and you won't." And I remember saying, "Ah, yes, boys, happy on." He's trying to scare me. And I mind actually putting the ball by him, going to run by him, and he just put me in the air. And you turn around, like, and you look at him, you want to say something, you're just like, "Nah, I'll just get on with it."
Get on with it.
Just
That's
the way it was, mate. And to be fair, like, I'm really, really, really glad for it, because even the older brother Stevie will tell you, like, it was tough love, but it was brilliant, mate, for the development of me anyway.
Yeah, probably at the wrong age, just a bit too young for the drinking days, going to a bar after, like, but.
Oh, 100%, mate.
Still WKD just.
To be fair, but still went in the bar, but you maybe got one, but the barmen were sort of dubious as the you know, tear on with them boys. But at the end of the day, mate, it was absolutely brilliant crack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even now, I think there's still kids going to the Saturday morning league, and me personally, it's good for their development. You know what I mean? Because you see it nowadays. There's too many kids, and they just think they're it, and then they get a shock.
Yeah.
But if
No,
you do,
definitely. I'm a big advocate of terms of you need a bit of rough and tumble. Even for like
yeah,
I'm coaching the kids now. Most of them I'll put them a year above themselves, or try and get them that they're going to get contact against older players, because when you're 16, 17 and then you go into, if you're lucky enough, you go to 18s football or 20s football, it doesn't really count until you go to the men's. When you go into the men's, that's when you're going, fuck, I've got some hairy bear here that's trying to kick fuck out of me.
oh, I mean, yes.
So the younger I think you do it, if you can do it, you might as well get it done, and then as you say, you either sink or swim.
Well, that's it, mate. Yes, it's down to the person themselves too. Like, you could be through in there and you could just get kicked once and then that'll be it, leave.
Yeah.
And not want to do it again. I've even seen seen boys come on the Abbey View and wanting to play and stuff, and they're getting kicked into them and they don't come back. And you're going yourself, like, I'm 15, 16, and these, you know what I mean? These boys are doing it to me. I'm staying. I'm sticking it out. And at the end of the day, mate, it's just it's what you want to do, what you want to make of it yourself. And to be honest, I enjoyed playing on that team, and I wanted to play every week, and that's just the way I've been ever since I kicked the ball.
So, in terms of the Abbeyville, then that's where you did get removed in the base of the Irish League. Then you got to go to Larne, is that right?
Yes. Well,
how did that come about?
That came about. We were playing. I think it was Randallstown Reds at the time. Saturday morning league game. I was on the bench, and there was a guy, Joe McErlane, doing that for them at the time. A fella from Randallstown, and I think we were getting beat 1-0 or 2-1, whatever it was, and I came on and I set one up and scored one. And after the game, obviously you shake hands and stuff and all that jazz and get on, mate. Everybody was, both teams go back to the bar or some sandwiches or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was all right. So I think Joe knew Craig Davis, that played for the Reds at the time, and asked him did he know me and stuff, and could he get a hold of my number and stuff. So he phoned me up one day and he says he'd like to come down and speak to me and my dad. So that was all right. He came down and basically says that he thinks obviously I'm too good to be playing at that level at that age, because he knew the league, he's been in it a while, and he knows it's just boys looking to kick. And he was thinking that either I'm going to rot there or I'm going to get injured, and that'll be me. I'll not play any better. So he wanted to obviously push me on higher, which he was very, very grateful for. So he had actually got me up to Linfield 18s for a trial. So it's gone up there. It was a month trial, and after the 4 weeks, I was asked, look, want you to come back and see how it goes? I said, right, no problem. Dead on. So it was fine. As far as I was aware, I was going back to Linfield for either the sign or for another extended trial. But it was I think it was a Thursday or Friday afternoon. Came in from school. My dad met me at the front door. He says, there's somebody here to speak to you. And he says, right. Didn't have a clue what was going on, didn't know who it was. And walked in the living room, and Kenny Seals was sitting in the living room. And he was obviously first team manager at Larne at that time.
Yeah.
Obviously, Joe had told me that he had obviously been speaking to a number of clubs, and that obviously he would put my name about, which I was very grateful for, because you know yourself, mate, you put all your eggs in one basket, might not work out, you end up back to where you were, but you don't take these chances, you never know. So me as a 16-year-old sitting in the living room with Kenny Shields and going to myself, what's going to go on here? Like, he basically turned around and says to me that he wanted to speak to me about coming down to Larne and what plans he would have for me. So my dad says, right, go ahead, speak away. I'll leave you to it. Kenny says, you're not going to sit with us? And my dad says, no. Says, whatever he wants to do, that's up to himself. Says, I'm just his driver. So that was all right. So sat there, I think we were talking for a good hour and a half. He basically asked me what the plans were for myself, how I see myself progressing and stuff. And I was honest with him and telling him, look, obviously it was at Linfield trials. They've asked me to come back, and I think I'm going to do it. And he proceeded to tell me that he was obviously first team manager. He likes bringing the youth through. At that time, his son was playing for the 18s, Jody, and
played with Jody. Jody's decent.
Yeah, good lad. Yeah, very good lad. Yeah. So he basically told me that he wants to get me to the 18s, play for the 18s for a season, and he wants to push me on to the reserves and hopefully first team. So I thought, right, if he's gonna stick to his word, then have to take a chance on it. At the end of the day, you go to Linfield, mate, and to me, the biggest club in the country. You know what I mean? It's just every other week there's boys coming in, boys going. And I thought, right, I'll go to Lauren here, start at the bottom, and work my way up. So ended up agreed and went down and played for the 18s to start with. So I did. I think I actually joined. The season had already started. And I came in as obviously the outcast, as you would call them, the newbie. So obviously spent a bit of time on the bench at the start. But as I say, with a decent side, mate. Yes, we Julie Shields, and there was a couple of other lads, Scotty and Guy Darrell, mate. And honestly, these boys, like I'm going from playing Saturday morning league football with boys that are maybe on the drink on a Friday night, and then going there and playing with boys that are actually skillful, boys that can pass the ball, boys that can, run. And to be honest, it was great. It's great for my development because I came in there by myself, and to be honest, it was made very well. So
What was Kenny like?
Honestly, Kenny was brilliant. Good lad. Really sound man. Not what I expected. You know what I mean? I expected first team manager to be all sort of, this is the way I want it, and you know what I mean. But he was just can't explain it. He's just brilliant. Just the way he spoke to you and stuff, and bigged you up, and he had a plan for everything. Really nice guy and a really good manager.
I think I'd said one of the previous ones I'd done, like I'd seen him in a coaching course, like he just loves football. He's just like, you can see he's passionate about the game, and then I'm sure as a manager, players wise, that rubs off on you. Like,
unbelievable, because he actually had us. What he wanted was that the first team and the reserves and the teams, they all trained at Sandy Bay. So it did. So basically, if he wanted to have a look at you, he pulled you up there and then. And then he had a look at you in training. And then maybe, say, that Saturday, he wanted you in the reserves, he'd have pulled you up into the reserves. But it was a good way for him to actually see exactly what's going on with the players that he's going to be bringing through in the next couple of years, rather than just looking at the players he has now, who's available to him now. But it was very good because everything was done sort of near enough the same, so that whenever you went from the 18s to reserves, it wasn't a whole new, I have to learn this drill or I have to learn that drill. It was all coached the same, and he had them boys, well drilled from the top to the bottom.
Did that take you a wee bit to get used to the coaching side of things? Because I'm sure, like, so I'll be viewing that not disrespectful, but they're not doing drills that an Irish League club's doing.
No, 100%. Don't get me wrong. At that time, Graham Mitchell was doing a bit of some of the drills at Abbeyview, and to be honest, the stuff was good. His fitness stuff was good. But honestly, it's again going to that Irish League level was just a big surprise and a big step up. But as I say, I enjoyed every minute playing with the 18s. I think it was the year after. He basically pulled me aside and says to me that he wanted, obviously, me pushing for reserve team football more regular. But at that time, I was playing 18s football when I was 16, and then playing, reserve team football when I was 17. So to me, I still had a bit of time to progress, but to him, he obviously wanted me to progress as quick as I could. For his plans to be bringing you through for the first team. Because his way was that he didn't see the point of bringing in players that's already been there. Yes, it's good for experience, but sometimes you need the legs of the youth. You have to come through and learn as quick as possible. So it was brilliant. The first game for the reserves, I got called up to this County Antrim Shield game against Wakehurst actually, and I was on the bench, and I actually got a phone call to say, look, turn up Denver Park on Friday night. You're going to be in the squad. Wasn't told I was going to be playing. Be in the squad. So turned up anyway, and thought none of it because I think it was the youngest there, and I think everybody expected Lauren to hammer Wakehurst, but at that time Wakehurst were a good side, a decent side at that time, going strong. But Kenny wasn't meant to be there that night. I was on the bench, and I think I came off the bench 2-1 down, or 2-0 down. Sorry. Came on I think it was in the left or right wing. Set a goal up, and I really had a good game because for me, my game then was just energy, getting up and down, and me breaking up play, putting balls in and stuff. And to me, setting up a goal was brilliant on my first appearance. So I really enjoyed it. And again, it was a bigger step up too with fitness wise. 18s football, they were obviously fitter than Saturday morning league, but then the 18s, the reserve, was another step above that. So I was sort of surprised. It surprised me, the level of fitness that you needed to be at to be able to play 90 minutes for reserve team football.
Yeah.
But then the surprise, Kenny came in the change room after the game. He gave off. They really gave off, and that's the first time in my life that I've really been given a real grilling as a team. And I felt embarrassed because he basically scolded everybody and explained that this 16, 17-year-old came in here and he made you boys look like idiots because he came on there, showed a bit of fight, a bit of heart, and basically played for the shirt. And to be honest, that's just the way I was. That's just what I've done. It's what I still do. So back then, it wasn't the case of I'm just going out here just for a kick about. It was basically I hate losing. I want to win, and I was there to obviously progress myself. And I felt that night it did. And I didn't know this until I got home. But he had actually went out of the change rooms after giving off. He basically told my dad that that's what I want to see. He says that he's progressing well, and if he keeps going like that, there he'll not be too far away from my first team. He says he's cemented his place to be reserve team footballer now. He's not with the 18s anymore. So, it was honestly, I couldn't believe how quick things were on the up. I was expecting maybe within the third season, maybe even to get a call up, but to be honest, it was phenomenal just to be getting that call up there and then.
Yeah. So then, did you get many runs out in the first team then from there?
That season, I played mostly reserve team football. Obviously, still very, very young, but I think it was coming up. It was just after Christmas. We played the Glens at the Danny Blanchflower, and I think we're actually beating them. I think we're beating them 4-2 maybe that night. But at half time, I got subbed off. I was having a very good game at that time. I think we were 2-1 up, and I was disappointed with myself. I thought I had a bad game. I was really annoyed and got showered and stuff. Went out, sat with my dad and a couple of other fellas that had brought their sons up to the game, and I was really annoyed, and they could see that I was angry with myself. And I was alright. So obviously after the game, you go back in for obviously a bit of a team talk and stuff after the match, and I went in and was told to wait up after. And that's whenever obviously the reserve manager says, look, don't be kicking yourself. You didn't do anything wrong. You were the first team on Saturday.
Happy days.
Denver on Saturday afternoon. They're playing the Glens. So it was a big step up there. Going on against the Glens, mate.
So you made your debut against the Glens?
Very good Glen Torrance side too. Lehman stuff at the back, and obviously Elliot Morris and stuff. But as I say, I came on, mate. Made my debut, but didn't make any difference to me. We were 4-0 down, so he's.
I don't
You
know.
know what I mean?
It's
At
getting
the
on
end of the
against
day,
them boys anyway, mate, isn't it?
I was happy enough making my debut against one of the big two.
Yeah.
But as I can say, mate, that's what any kid dreams of whenever they go into football, is playing at the highest standard in their country. And for me to do it at that age, it surprised me and it surprised a lot of boys.
Yeah.
You know, boys I went to school with and stuff, they couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? Boys that were at Linfield under 16s going, you're playing first team football, no, you're not. I says, I got a call. It's, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm happy, so I don't care if you believe me or not. I'm going. So
You'll see me on
I mean?
TV here.
But,
Watch BBC News, you'll see me as play.
as I say, that was the first game I played for the first team. But then after that, I made a few more appearances. The likes of Duncan and Glenavon. But yeah, no, it was very, very good.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting not to get into the first team as quickly. And to be honest, somebody my height, the Irish League isn't really what you would call, wasn't really what you would call a small man's game, if you know what I mean. At the end of the day, there's boys out there that are my age and look like men, whereas I was that age and I just did look like still a kid. But at the end of the day, Kenny Sheehan's seen something in me, and I was happy enough. He was putting me in, went from there.
If he's putting you in, you're a player, mate. Like he doesn't fuck about. But in terms for Lauren, then, what would you say? What's the most memorable things then? What would stick out for you?
Obviously, getting my debut in the first team, but I can remember whenever I was there, our captain Chris Lindsay had left and went to Linfield. So he had at that time, and I can remember somebody saying the reserves are playing Linfield in a couple of weeks, and obviously I was still playing reserve team football, but yet on the bench for the first. So I remember driving down Friday night game down to Ember Park and going up against Linfield, and at that time they had their two centre backs, Randy Hunter and Chris Lindsay, who obviously just left us previously. And I can remember my dad on the way down, and he used to do it every week. He used to say to me, "What do you think you're going to be today? What do you think you're going to be today?" Because he knew I hated getting beat. He knew I hated it. And obviously with me, yourself, me growing up, I was Linfield fan. So he sort of was trying to give a wee nudge and get me sort of annoyed before the game, because obviously he knew that going and watching me, the more I was annoyed, the better I played, because I just concentrated solely on getting the ball and doing what I can do. And I'm glad, because it sort of paid off, because them two boys are about 6'6", and we were 1-0. No, we weren't actually. It was 0 each, and the ball came in, and I can remember making a run, and the two of them didn't see me because I came in behind Andy Hunter, and I jumped, and I actually beat the two of them in the air and scored a header. And I can remember my dad saying to me on the way home, "I can't believe how high you jumped. Like, them two boys are massive. I can't believe you beat them in the air." But we drew that game 1 each. I think McGuinness scored that day, equalised for Linfield. But as I say, that was one of the big ones. And then I got the ball on the right hand side and cut in on the left, and was just at the inside the D of the centre circle, and seen Elliot Morris off his line, because he was obviously injured, come back from injury. And I thought, I'm going to hit this with the left, and I hit it. And thankfully, it went in off the bar from just over the halfway line. And I remember running over to my dad and just doing that there to him, because he had told me we were going to get tanked before the game. So that was they were two big ones. Yeah.
Class. Also, at the same time, then you're at Lauren, you get a call in the international squad, so under 17s.
Yeah, at that time, Kenny Sheehan was in charge of the under 17 squad, and they had an international friendly against Luxembourg. And obviously, every kid's dreams to play for their country at some point. Thankfully, I got to do it once, even at that level, which I was really, really glad for, because there's a lot of boys I know they're very, very good footballers. I've never done it. But I get a phone call one day. Thankfully, a guy had pulled out. He couldn't go.
Yeah.
So Kenny had phoned me and he says, look, there's a space opened up. He says, I want you to come and see how you get on. So I says, right, no problem. So we went and got organised, and obviously still at school, had to get a letter and bring it into the school to say, look, this is what's happening, not be in for a week. So I got to go to Luxembourg for a week during school days, which sort of annoyed a few boys because a lot of boys in my year were very good footballers and playing at midfield and stuff and never got the call. So I was thankful that he gave me that chance, but it was totally different. It was suit, tie, full professional regalia, and for me it was another great experience. We were playing Luxembourg, obviously. We got over to the training camp, and the snow was basically up to my knees. So we were training.
So it was 1 foot snow then?
Well, to everybody else up to their ankles, but it was up to my knees. But as I say, we got up training in this snow, and to be honest, I think everybody just sort of was laughing about it. You know what I mean? Everybody got on with it. You know, it was what it was. We trained hard. We've done a lot of running. Whenever the balls came out, it was messy, but it was brilliant crack. But the quality of players like that was there. The big name that stands out for me was Craig Cathcart. The man was just a man mountain, and at that age he was massive. And I remember thinking to myself, he's a big lad, like I wouldn't like to be tackling him, you know. But you just look at him now and you think, that boy, you know. I look at him on the TV and I go, let me. You knew that guy was going to make it. He just had the ability, even at that age. It's like boys I know talk about Johnny Evans. They know him, and they say that at youth level he was just like a man. You know what I mean? So Big Craig was the same.
Yeah.
But that, as I say, that experience was absolutely brilliant. We had to travel to Metz to play on a 4G pitch at that time.
Right.
The first time I ever played on one. To play the match. Unfortunately, we beat 1-0, but for me, it was just another learning curve as to the level that is there. You know, I always tried to get to that level or to be good enough for that level, but obviously, just the talent maybe wasn't there. But at the end of the day, you know, it takes a special kind of to be at that level. You know, every week.
Big time. But then just moving on a wee bit, so you know, obviously the NI and the call-ups for Larne and that, but what happened you left then? Just sick of the travelling or?
No, we'd actually went through a good few managers. We went through Kenny Seeds had left to take up the international job full time. Jim Hagan had come in. Now, I really enjoyed working under Jim because Jim was a really nice guy. And then the last one that I can remember came in was Paul Curran.
Who?
Paul Curran.
All right, okay.
He had come in, and to be fair to them all, they all sort of kept me in for the first team, if you know what I mean. I thought with me still being young, that they might have just pushed me to the side. As new managers do, they come into a club and they want to build their own team. But I was still kept about, which I really appreciated. But we obviously it wasn't the Larne of today where they have money and players galore, and you sort of struggled a bit for players. So the reserve team played on a Friday night. So you were playing a match on a Friday night and then going with the first team on a Saturday. Obviously, maybe on the bench, getting maybe 60 minutes brought off. But that was going on for a few months. And I was asked one night, the reserves have a game, a couple of injuries, need you to do 90 minutes. I thought, right, no problem, I'll go and do 90 minutes. And I was told by Paul himself that, you know, you'll be featuring for the first team, whether it be on the bench or maybe start and brought off, which it didn't bother me. As long as I was getting playing football, doing my leg, I was happy enough. So, can't even mind who we were playing, but I can remember it was early in the second half, and it was 50-50 tackle, and I just flew in, absolutely flew in like I always done, and just heard a crack, and I went to get up. I just remember hearing another crack, and I thought, oh no, I've done something here. So obviously, me being me, tried to walk it off and stuff on the sideline, came back on, tried to kick a ball, couldn't, had to go off. So that was alright. So went down to the physio on the Tuesday night. And he basically told me it's just a wee slight sprain. Obviously that time hard up for players. Strapped it up for the next week. Trained the 2 nights. Felt not too bad with a strap on it. And strapped it up on the Saturday. And I can remember my mad actually took me that day. That was probably the first game she's ever came to watch me. And it was a 50-50. And again, I went flying in. And I just, like, even she said to me like, that she had heard the crack again. And she thought it was broke. She says she actually genuinely thought it was broke. And I was in agony. I thought my ankle was broke. So that was that. So that was then. I went to my own physio then on the Saturday because the first of the game, and obviously I was out. So I went to my own physio, and he told me that basically I've really, really badly torn the ligaments in my ankle, and that it's going to be a brave while before I'm back playing. So that was all right. So I was talking about him, and he says, "When did this happen?" So I says, "And look, happened last night." He says, "No." He says, "This hasn't happened recently." He says, "This has happened, a wee while ago." He says, "Because it's in bad shape." So I said, "Look, I had a tackle last Friday night." And he says, "And obviously I played this Friday night." He says, "Wee man," he says, you nearly just wrecked yourself." He says, that could have been the end of you." He says, "If you don't obviously rest this thing, you might not play again." So to me, that was a big wake up call. Obviously, maybe the physio just did think it was a sprain or not. But to me, he should have took the call and says that that's it, out for so many weeks. But back then, at the end of the day, they didn't have many players, so they done what they thought was right by them to field the team. Because at the end of the day, a club like that back then couldn't afford to pay fines for not fielding the team and stuff. So I don't have any grudges that way. But for me, I just thought it's maybe time to move on because you're not getting treated the way that you were before. As if he's been here a while, he'll do whatever we tell him to do, basically. So I hadn't really spoke to anybody about it. But as you know, my mate, Big Willie McNeil, was doing this for Chimney Corner Reserves, and I'd been out for a couple of months, and he was torturing me steady. He says, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" He said, "Come down, reserve team, bunch of mates, Butler and all was there, brilliant crack." So I was thinking about it while I was obviously unable to play. I spoke to my dad about it, and he basically just said, "Look, you do whatever you want to do. It's I'm happy running you, but it's your choice." So I made the choice then to actually leave Lauren. Went and spoke to Paul and says, "Look, I want to leave. I just think that I need a bit of time away and obviously get myself together and sort things out." So I spoke to Dom, who was actually in charge of the reserve team at the time, and he says, "Of course, I'd love to have you." He says, "Love to have you." So I went, got the release, and Paul basically told me, "Look, as long as I'm here, there's always a place for you," which I was sort of glad of, because at the end of the day, you sort of knew where you stood. You knew that the guy appreciated what you'd done. So for me, it was a big step back. Obviously playing wise, but obviously mentally, it was good, because you come back there to a level that wasn't as physical or wasn't as relentless in running. So I was given time, as much time as I wanted to get right by Dom and all this. And I remember Dom's team talks about how well the team was doing. We're winning 1-0, 2-1. but someday it's all going to click and we're going to tank some teams. So that was fine. And then I went and says to him one day, look, I think I'm ready for a game. And he says to me, right, he says, look, if you think you're ready, I'll put you in. And Dom always fancied me to play up front, no matter what height I was. Obviously, seen me whenever I left Chimney Corner the first time, went down over, he'd seen, obviously, I did have the ability to score. So we went to the Valley, was my first game. I can remember saying to Big Ping, Matthew McClure, I just remember saying him, any chance you get, put the ball over the top. And to be honest, the big man could pick a pass out anywhere on the pitch. So he
was class act, wasn't he?
Oh, unbelievable. The big man, see if he wasn't as heavy, the big man could have been playing God knows where, because his passing ability was unbelievable. That game, I think I scored 5. Big man just put it on the end of my toe every time. And the referee, I can remember slagging me. Big Leach was the referee. I remember him saying, why are you standing in the box in the corner? What are you going to do, Ema? And I can just remember making a run from the edge of the box to the penalty spot and heading it into the top corner and turning around and saying, what were you saying, Leachy? And he just laughed at me. That's all he could do was just laugh. And he came up to me after the game, he shook my hand, he says, hey, man, can't believe that. He says, all the heady, and you jumped that high and scored a header. But that's it, mate. You know, as small as I may be, I can leap. And a surprise boy's going to leap. So, but as I say, that was the start of my second stint at Chimney Corner. Colin Telford was the first team manager.
Yeah.
He was at that time. But for me, my objective was to finish the season with the reserves and to get myself right so that I could go in pre-season, go with the first team, and obviously establish a place in the first team, not go in in the bench, because that time all I wanted to do was play full games and get the match fitness up. But he came, I can remember he came to Dom, and he had 1 or 2 boys couldn't make it. They were going to Derby, which wasn't the trip that I really wanted to make if he was going to be on the bench. And he came down, he told Dom, like, I want him. Dom says, look, we have a big game today, this is big clash, like this could put us in the second league. He says, no, I want him. And obviously with him being the first team manager, he pulled around. So he came down to me and he says, you're coming to the first team today. He says, am I going to get playing? I don't know. He says, look, am I going to get any minutes? I don't know. Can't promise you that. He says, if you think I'm going to Derby to sit on the bench all game, you have another thing coming. And he says, look, I'm the first team manager. He says, you either come with me or you don't play it all the day. And I remember saying to Dom, he says, all right. He says, just went to gap. And I can remember, right, I'm going home here. So I went and got my bag and made my way up the Randallstown Road. Well, started to make my way up the Randallstown Road. And I got a phone call from Dom. He said, wait, come back. So the first team went to Derby. I think they got spanked 10 or 11. And Telver came back and we had win 4-3. I scored a hat-trick. And he went off and won at Dom. But then the committee getting off at Dom. Dom says, look, there's nothing I can do. You just came back. I said, nothing I can do. I didn't put him. And to be honest, that was brilliant because the man just, he's a rocket. Absolute rocket. Telford was, he just thought he played Man United reserves and he came up to our training one night and I played him a pass and he says that was a poor pass. And I didn't know who he was at the time. And he says, no, mate, that was your poor touch. And he laughed at me. He says, you know who I am? And he says, no. I says, do you know who I am? He says, no. And he says, well, I'm Gaz and I'm a Chimney Corner reserves. He says, well, I'm Colin Telver. I'm the first team manager. I used to be at Man United reserves. He says, well, you're a Chimney Corner now, mate. Same as me. He says, you're in the same boat. And I can just remember him just thinking, like, this wee lad must be, he told this wee lad,
he's a wee dick.
He's not going to play for this first team. Dom says, that's okay with me. Like, I'll keep him on the reserves. And like, that's happy enough. Like, scoring goals, I was enjoying it. You know what I mean? I was playing with mates, I was enjoying it, and I got the groove back. The ankle felt fine. No hiccups or nothing, but ended up he came down to me one night and he says, look, says all jokes aside, he says, you were the first team this weekend. Says, right, no problem. So ended up, went with the first team and got a few minutes. But did a decent side that time. Banksy and that was there, and Vinny McCormick and that, Arnie and that, yes. But they're a good say. Unfortunately, they just didn't do as well as what the potential they had. But I can't remember who came in after that because Telford left. That's the end of that season.
Is that Rob Irwin?
I don't think it was. No, I think was Neil Conley's not in there before Rob Irwin.
He might have been. I didn't know whether if you were under Conley.
I can remember Neil Conley was there. I think it was Neil after Rob Irwin. Neil assembled a team of just rocket team. Scott Brosnan, Rob Ritchie, and boys that were good footballers, but just absolute rockets again. And it was just a chimney corner of gold, just rockets. But I don't know what happened there. It didn't last too long, and then Rob Irwin came in, and that was a biggie because Rob had brought in a lot of boys from Belfast, and there was me, Big JT, and Paul McIntyre, and we were the three that were selected for the first team. We had to travel to Stormont to train for a team from Antrim. And I remember saying that them boys on the way out one night, this is mental. This is absolutely mental. Because you're training with the first team on a Tuesday night, and then you're training with the reserves on a Thursday night in Antrim. And you're going to yourself, this is crazy. An Antrim team training in Belfast. What's this all about? And at that time, the club was crying out for people from Antrim to go and support. But yet there was nobody there for them to go down and watch, if you know what I mean. But fair enough, he built a decent side, which again never amounted to anything. Boys just it just didn't happen for them one way or another, and he left, and he took all them players with him, all, and obviously Husey then as reserve team manager. Me and Husey had played up front for Dom in the reserves, but Husey was obviously taking the reserves at that time, and he built obviously his rocket team, as he called them.
Yep.
And that was the likes of my brother Sticky, Rob, Henry, Jamie, and it was just they were just boys that were just out for a good day's football, you know. So obviously they were brought up to the first team, and it wasn't right what happened. But at the end of the day, we got by it. He then built the team the following season, and to be fair, we weren't far off. They all goal beat us. Just couldn't finish games off. Just didn't have a striker clinical enough. I think at that time, Big Mark Kelly was playing up front, but he obviously didn't have a strike partner. Robbie Lucas, I think, was playing beside him, but Big Mark was flicking things on, and there was chances being missed left, right, and centre. And I remember, I think me and you actually spoke about it a few times, saying, what is going on here? Like, we should be tanking these teams, you know. If we could just start scoring a few more goals, we'd be up the table.
Like if the game was played until we reached the opposition box, we were battering teams. So we were just like football and everything, and they couldn't cope. Like, it was Championship 2 at that stage, but they couldn't cope with young lads and the energy we had when we were battering teams. Somebody at the back, I make a slip or something, bang, 1-0. We could never score another goal, or we couldn't score enough goals just to get us out of the mess. But like one that I remember is when Stevie took over, we knocked Bria up there.
Yeah.
You had played, battered them off the pitch, ended up getting beat 1-0. Like Robbie Lucas ran across his own box or something, gave away the ball, your man scored. But we missed about 6 or 7. Like.
Yeah. It was great. That game was probably the worst one of that because we had so many chances, and to go away from that 1-0 down, and you know, come back to Antrim to listen to the boys that you'd played with as a kid, you know, slagging you, saying use your crap, use your terrible, and you're going, well then you come and show us how it's done, right? Come and play for the team and see how you get on. And to be honest, I never ever wanted to take up the challenge because in my eyes they just weren't good enough. But yet they wanted to slag you because you were getting beat. The step up the Championship 2 from obviously the reserve was phenomenal because that league that the reserves were playing in was just obviously pub man's league. And you were turned up there on a Saturday, and anybody could have played. You're playing against boys that are near 20 stone. You know what I mean? But then boys to get through into the deep end and play against actual footballers was just, it was scary for them at the start, because I can remember, I think it was the first game we went to Derby. You think of Derby and you think of Sproul and them boys, and you're going, like, me personally playing against them boys before, yourself, you're in for a hard game. But whenever you see the likes of boys that's been brought up, not through their own fault, but through into the deep end, you're going, this is going to be a long day in the office. A really long day in the office. And it was. I think it was 11. I think at the end they felt a wee bit sorry for us, because they knew obviously what had went on and what the score was. But at the end of the day, a lot of them boys learned from it, and the next season progressed again. Because we weren't too far off. I just think if that team had been given an extra year, they might have done a bit more.
I think it was always just. Go ahead, mate. Sorry.
I think they actually might have finished maybe top 4 in the league, but obviously results speak for themselves, and the club had to look after them, out for themselves too.
Yeah, I think the biggest, when we were in the championship, I think it's quite common knowledge. Obviously, we were the kids basically in it, but we were the only team officially that didn't pay.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ones going, oh, we're not paying any money, but you knew fine rightly somebody's getting 60, 70 quid a week. There was no money in our team, no money at the club. So you could tell, like, so there's boys getting 30, 40 quid for their experience in games for fucking outshining us. But when we did sort of click and get a bit of a handle on the games, then it was just too late. We had already had a mountain to climb, and relegation was there. And if relegation happened at that time, the club were in big diff. So they always had to, I think they had to look that way. So Stevie got the heave ho basically, and then you followed suit. Isn't that right?
Well, he had actually.
he gets the boot on a Friday night, and you piss off on the Saturday morning when we're having a team meeting. You huffy wee fucker.
The thing about it is, we played Ballyclare friendly, and we drew to each other. And I can remember a big mate of mine, Big Neater, playing on the back. I remember absolutely having probably one of my best games ever against him and torturing him and scoring. And after that game, Husey pulled me and Sticky to his side and says, look, Gordon Chambers was in charge at the time of Ballyclare, and he says, look, this guy wants you two to sign for him. And my words to Stevie was, look, as long as you're here, I'll see the season out. And that's exactly the words I said to him. So to be honest, I was happy enough. I spoke and said that I'll see the season out, and then go up for pre-season, because for me they were obviously championship one, and at that time I was probably one of the better players at Chimney Corner, and to be taken away from everything that you tried to build at that time, just for me wasn't the right time. We're trying to build something good for the club, for the town, to try and get support down, and for me just to go away and walk away from it all just wasn't in me. So I obviously promised them that as long as you're here, I'm staying. But to me, I just think that the chairman just at that time I just went about it the wrong way. Stevie was obviously away. I understand that these things happen, but the guy that they brought in, just I got wind of who was coming in, and I knew what he was like. And I previous with him, he obviously told me that before that as a kid I was too small. So I thought, right, this is men's football. If I was too small as a kid, I haven't grown much since then. So I'll maybe be too small now. So I made the decision that I phoned up Gordon Chambers and asked him, if you're still interested, I'll be happy enough to come up and see what it's like at that level. So yeah, he basically gave me the go ahead to go up, see how I get on. But honestly, for me it was another very, very good move, because it was another step up to where I wanted to be at the end of the day, obviously I wanted to be back playing Irish League football. And going from Championship 2 to Championship 1 was just another step. And I thought, right, go here and see what happens and see if I can get the face in the window again for maybe a possible Irish League return. But yeah, sort of didn't pan out that way, and I spent the next nearly 10 seasons at Ballyclare. So must have done something right. So
so
no,
in terms of the Ballyclare side of things, like I've been up to watch a few of the games and that, and the guys who follow them, they love you, like.
yes, they didn't have the biggest following, but the guys that are there are very hardworking guys, and they really do a lot for the club and a lot for the players. But as I say, the likes of Justy, like, the man's a rocket, absolute rocket. See on bus trips, the man's just organises everything. Absolutely loves it. Absolute gentleman too. Like him and his brother Justin and Jody. Seeing you get the two of them together, absolute rockets. Something's gonna happen. Like, but as I say, the club's full of boys that are Ballyclare men, and they do a lot of work for the club. Obviously they don't have much money either. For me, it was absolutely an absolute honour to play for that club, because I was well looked after in the time there. And again, there's been managers came and go, and it was always kept about, even when all our boys were let go and stuff. And to be honest, like, I had a good relationship with the fans. Again, I think it was just down to hard work on the pitch. I think most of them boys just want a team that's just going to put the effort in and play for the shirt, not boys that's going to turn up just for an out kickabout or a payday or whatever.
Yeah. It seems like when you're playing, like, let's say going up the watches and stuff, they do thrive off somebody who, like yourself, you're buzzing about everywhere, firing yourself about, getting stuck in. They thrive off it, like, and they seem to really appreciate you and all the players, like you do, which I think there's maybe only 40-50 people at the game, but they make noise and have flags and stuff, like, so it's pretty good for us. Like, like to see the lower levels that are still support like that too, like.
Well, big time, mate. I just think that they could be supported a lot better by the league. I just think that the league could do more for, obviously, Championship 1 and 2 teams. But at the end of the day, each club that's in them leagues have their core support. I can remember whenever I first went up, there was maybe between 20 and 25 people watching the games. And then we built a bit of a team, went on a run in the Irish Cup. And we come up against Linfield at that time with the likes of Winky Murphy, Mulgrew, all them boys playing. And we weren't expected to do anything. Obviously, we weren't excelling in the league. But that cup run was totally different. We were flying. And I can remember after 15 minutes being 2-0 down, Linfield had scored, and then they got a penalty and scored it. I can remember I was playing the left that night up against Billy Joe Burns, and I can remember a lot of my mates obviously are Linfield fans, and I remember hearing a guy at the side saying, "Oh, this is great, this is going to be about 10." And I just remember thinking to myself, I don't want this to happen. I can't let this happen. So it gave me another level, because obviously the boys are the fittest team in the league. And I can remember coming off that pitch with my head held high, because after I'd say an hour, it was back to, I think we were actually winning 3-2 after an hour. Nicky Sharples and Big Drop up front, and we'd scored a corner. Big Sharples had put one in from the edge of the box, and we were absolutely flying. We just got the momentum up, and I think one or two guys that obviously run a wee bit harder and a wee bit faster for a wee bit longer helped the whole team through it, because everybody relied on each other at that time. It was obviously phenomenal. I can remember going to take one of the corners, and a very familiar face standing guy Aaron Foster, Baldy. I can remember him plain as day. Brenner, you wee wanker. I could just remember just giving him a look, and he just laughed at me. So I knew he was doing something right whenever your mate said that. Yeah, you know.
It's mad. Like a Korean fan came up to watch Linfield play too, like, isn't it?
He wasn't always a Korean fan, you know. So make sure you tag him on this. But no, he was a big Linfield fan. So he was. I never really forget that. So not. But as I say, for me it was great seeing him get that annoyed that we were actually, you know, getting them. Because David Jeffries was going mad on the sideline, absolutely mental. They ended up bringing it back to 3 each. Then we went 4-3 up. I remember clear as day. We were 4-3 up with about 2 minutes to go, and they got a corner. And I was told just to stay up, just stay up. I can remember the ball was headed out the edge of the box. I think Murphy had caught it on his, I think it was maybe his left foot. And he didn't hit it as well as, see if they'd hit it sweet, it wouldn't have went in. But he sort of scuffed it, and it rolled between somebody's legs and within the bottom corner. But at the end of the day, they beat us 6-4 in extra time. But for me, that was probably one of the biggest ones, because at that time that team was clearing up, so they were. And then you just look at them boys now, like Mulgrew's still there. Billy Joe Burns has won countless titles with Crusaders and stuff. But as I say, unbelievable that night was. The supporters were given something to cheer about for the first time that season, I would say.
Yeah. See, you beat Ballyclare, or you beat Linfield as well, didn't you, while you were there?
We did. We beat Linfield 1-0. Eddie Hill was in charge that game. And he went for the unorthodox 4-3-3. And he put me in the centre of the park with Johnny McClure, with Simon McCann. Basically just says, just run your balls off to the whole team. Just go out there and run and get in them. We ended up with that. We beat them 1-0. That was also a mammoth night for me, because obviously it's Linfield's the biggest team in the country, but you're putting them out of the cup. You know what I mean? You're the team that's turned up there and not meant to do anything. Beat them boys, and then people start talking around the town and stuff. So it brought a bit of a buzz in. And then there was more and more supporters, coming in. But as I say, it wasn't all happy memories. The first time I was at Ballyclare, we got relegated, and there was a few boys obviously had left, moved on. Obviously I didn't. I stayed. Obviously, as part of the team got relegated, and I wanted obviously to get them back up. So that's what we've done. We finished second in the league, unfortunately, but obviously it was good to get promoted. And then that obviously that cup run again as well. But we've had some ups and downs, but mostly good, memorable memories for me at Ballyclare. Supporters are second to none, obviously.
Yeah. Also, you Stadium Sun semi-final.
Yes. I was waiting on you bringing that up.
Well, I had to. Glentoran.
Yes, played Glentoran in the semi-final. Wasn't my best night.
So I watched the video back, actually, just to make sure I got it right, because when I was talking to you about it, I was like, right, I'm near sure he fucked penalty over the bar, and I must watch it. So there's a few things that stick out. You split your head open.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe that's why you put it so far over.
Well, I'll be honest with you, though, it wasn't. And to be fair, it wasn't as far over. So it wasn't. Mine hit the sign on the stand at the back. Jared McAlee sent his in the shore road. It's still travel. So it is.
You're lucky there was a stand there, or else you were running up in some squad.
Well, mine hit the stand. At least mine hit the stand. But no, we played the Glens at that time. They had a very, very good youth side. I think they actually won it the year before, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
So yeah, we went up against them anyway. And we gave them a hell of a game. We ended up, I think we were 2-0 down, came back, and can't mind if McClure scored both of them, but he definitely scored one anyway.
He scored two. I watched it back yesterday.
He came off the bench. He came off the bench.
He done a ridiculous
anyway,
dance twice when he scored. Brutal.
the man. He always was a header, you know what I mean? It's the third we're talking about here. But anyway, that game, I can remember going up for a header and obviously came down, but my ear had caught on the shirt of the other guy, and it sort of tore my ear. And they were going to take me off, but I said just stick a bit of Vaseline on and strap it up, be alright. So thought that fine. But later on in the game, I think it was actually extra time, bit of a 50-50. But whatever way I sort of landed, it sort of hurt my knee, but with no subs left. So obviously played on anyway, just got through up front just to sort of dander about and try and make a nuisance of himself when the ball came up. Then obviously in the penalties, and the question was asked, who wants to take a penalty? And I'll not shy away. The 2 rounds before that, I went first, scored the both of them. But I maintain that ball we played with that game was changed for the penalties. It was. I'm telling you now, they changed the ball.
What do you think it was, a fucking rugby ball when you hit it instead?
I'm telling you, it was later. I'm clear as day. Honestly, it was a different ball they used for the penalty. Honestly, I can remember it being later. That's why the penalty rule bar.
Did you?
Oh dear, big time. But no, yes, I was. I think I can't remember missing any other penalties than that. So
no, like to be fair, like I played you for years. I would say you're quite reliable from the ball. Like, and I was surprised to see that you had missed it. But one of them things, what was like terms for that year? Then obviously that's around Christmas time. You still championship 1 or 2 at that stage still.
We were championship 1 at that stage, I think. Or were we? I honestly can't remember.
Just to say, like, it didn't have a lasting effect on you in terms of you went into the fucking free fall after losing that game, or you recovered all right from it and kept going.
No, we were steady enough in the league. We weren't finishing as high as we wanted. We were bottom half, but as I say, it didn't relegate us. It was one of them things that what could have been, but the Glens won to win it anyway. So if you're going to get beat by anybody, may as well be the winners. So, but as I say, just the group of lads were just, after missing a penalty, there was no slavering. It was just all, come on, head up, all that sort of jazz. Thankfully, Paddy saved one, which cancelled mine out, and then Jared hit his and missed his. But at the end of the day, these things happen. It's football.
That's it. Part and parcel, isn't it?
Professionals miss the target, and then boys are paid thousands, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, for us, it didn't really affect us that much. It's just a fact of, we could have been in the final. That could have been the final. We could have won that.
They see you got your turkey dinner and all instead on the Christmas day.
No, that's it, man. Yes, I put on Christmas. Yeah. No, but honestly, it was a good run. It brought a wee bit of joy back to the club as well, for the supporters to cheer, because at the end of the day, that's all you have is cup runs unless you're flying in the league. And at that time, they weren't paying big money. Nobody was paying big money at that time. So it was just basically the top couple of teams were maybe good though, and that was about it. But we weren't getting massive amount.
Yeah.
Temper money if you're lucky, but you know what I mean. But that's just the way it is.
That's what we do it for. But terms for moving forward, then, like the Ballyclare, so you mentioned you've been under quite a few. So you've been under Eddie, Gordon Chambers, Steve.
Gordon Chambers, Eddie, Hughes in charge. Big Clifford Adams was in charge. Davy Dorian was in charge. Who else? Obviously, big Paul Harbinson in charge at the minute. But I can remember Davy Dorian being in charge, and he brought in the likes of your mate Sturdy King from the other league. But Sturdy, good laugh. He also brought in by Craig Shannon. And oh man, obviously I can't mind who it was we were playing, but obviously you do your initiation where first bus trip you have to sing. Big Greg's not one for backing down to any sort of challenge like. So I think the boys were surprised whenever we're on our way home and the big man gets up to sing and he blasts out Frozen with like actions and the full works like, and the big man was just it was unbelievable class. The big man's just an absolute rocket.
What was your initiation?
I can't remember, it was that long ago, mate, to be honest.
You probably didn't do one, you wee shite bag.
No, I think I maybe did, mate. I think it was actually on the way to Ballymena. But I can't, honestly, I can't remember. Honestly, don't know. I can't remember, honestly. But as I say, that was, Big Greg's was probably the best one, mate, because just, it was the actions and I got really, really into it. You know, way boys are sort of, you know, boys need to give you a hand out. Nah, big man just wanted the spotlight in his own. That was it. Just anybody tried to sing, it was just the hand was up. No, I'm doing this.
This is my time.
This is my time to shine. But
class.
As I say, that was another decent team. Like, didn't really get much game time. I was either getting 60 minutes and took off, or on the bench and coming on for 20. And I can remember actually Eddie Hill was signed as a player. He came back to play, and I can remember actually we were just chatting. I remember saying that I just wanted to be playing every week. And he says, "What do you mean?" I says, "Well, obviously I'm either on the bench or else I'm only getting minutes here and there." So I'd actually thought about maybe walking away, you know, speaking to Davey and saying about, you know, just going elsewhere. And Eddie sort of talked me out of it. And then it ended up that December, Davey had left. Davey went just left his role. And then Eddie had took over. And obviously with me, obviously having that chat with him, he was straight on the phone to me and says, "You're not going anywhere. You're obviously part of my plans. I'm taking over again. You're part of my plans." And to be sure, he brought in Willie Wade with him, Husey, I think, at that time as well. The training we done under Willie Wade, everybody was sort of complaining about. I mean, everybody was complaining about it because you were just beasted. Tuesday night, you knew you were beasted every Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I can remember thinking to myself, this is crazy. But at that time, we had been tipped for relegation because we went on a bad run. And then I think after about 3 or 4 weeks of Eddie and Willie running us, and then obviously with Husey doing the drills, we went on, I think it was 12 or 13 game unbeaten run. We finished 5th. And that year, the likes of Lauren were in the league at that time, and I think we beat them twice.
Yeah.
They were obviously meant to run away with the league. But as I say, like everybody, you know yourself, everybody hates running. Like everybody just hates just running. And that's what we were doing for a good 40 minutes. And to be honest, whenever everybody's seen it starting to work in the last 25 minutes of a game, because you could have been sitting there at 1 each in the game, but you knew the last 25 minutes you were getting a chance because myself, wee Mick O'Hanlon, Big Trussell, and Adam Gray, you had pace and you had skill running the teams in the last 25 minutes. And all we needed was obviously that wee bit of extra fitness. And that's when we killed teams, because we were scoring 2 or 3 goals each game in the last 25 minutes when we went on that run, and it was phenomenal.
How good was it for you to play and learn off Eddie Hill? Because although you didn't play ideally up front, but you were an attacking player anyway. Was it good for you?
I played, well, to be honest, learning from Eddie. Eddie always joined in training, and Eddie's about the same height as me. Obviously, just seeing him in training, and you're going to yourself, oh, he's, obviously he could still play.
Exactly.
But I can remember one night, we had Big Trussell, Randall Reid was our strikers. And I can remember one night in training, he just says to me, look, just play up front. And Big Kelly was obviously playing centre back at the time. And he, for third Tuesday, big man, he went up to Eddie and says, I play him up front. I'm sorry. He says he's absolutely fucking torturing us here. He says, if he's going to play like that there on a Saturday, I'd play him up front, give him a chance. And to be honest, he did. He went for it, and he put me up front with Big Trussell. We were playing 4-4-2, but at that time we had Jonty and JB in centre mid. What happened was, whenever we got ahead in games, if I seen them struggling, I had to drop back as a fifth midfielder to help them out, and then we broke from there. So it was basically you're playing 4-4-1-1.
Yeah.
So I was ideally playing basically myself in the hole. But as I say, after that, it was basically, he told me, just play in that area there and just do what you've done the other week. For me, it was great because it's sort of like a free roll, because you're getting to run about, you're getting to break things up. You're not tied down to, right, this is where you need to be, or this is what you need to do. Just go and do what you can do. And for me, just running games, like our midfield would run over the top of anybody at that time, because we were quick at getting back, but equally as quick as going forward. Because any team I've played in, normally, whenever your attacks broke down, boys really don't want to get back. But that team there, as soon as you were broke down, everybody was busting their gut to get back. And other teams in the league were falling for what we were doing, because we were turning the ball over and then we were breaking the pace. And before they knew it, we were 4-on-2 in our favour. And that's whenever, obviously, we were flying. And just being given that confidence from Ellie, just give me all you have for as long as you have. And, I'll take you off or whatever. But there was a few times, obviously, yourself, if you're training and running that much during the week, and then you're getting into a Saturday and doing it, you're not going to last the full 90, because it's just obviously you're not built for it. So there was a period there where I was playing for about 70 to 75 minutes each week. And we were getting 2 or 3 goals ahead, and he was taking me off and bringing fresh legs on, which was brilliant, because he really knew how to manage it, and he knew how to obviously speak to you afterwards. Like, it wasn't as if he's subbing you and then not speaking to you and just leaving you to it.
I get off the clock and that's it.
He had to come over to you and says, look, I want to keep some of your legs. You know what I mean? I don't want you wrecking yourself or this or that, because that time you start to cramp up, and then obviously that's when the injuries creep in. But no, yeah, it was good for me personally. I was just given obviously near enough a free roll. Effectively, it worked for the team as well as the coaching staff, and as well as myself, because he seen my work rate, and as you said earlier, other boys just thrive off it. I can remember playing right wing, and a couple of right backs that I've played with over the years just tell me, don't come back, just run at them every time you get the ball, just run at them. And even that there as well, like, that was obviously down to obviously the coaching of the managers and stuff as well. But as I say, it's just, personally, it was just phenomenal, just over the years, some great memories and some great people at the club.
So in terms of your ballyclare times and stuff, I know you've been injured in that this year. It's just high regards then, you love it?
Oh, big time. Wouldn't say a bad word about the club. Yeah, absolutely great bunch of people. The fans are just, honestly, as I say, second to none. The away trips we used to actually, I don't know if we still do, we used to travel with the supporters. See, you went away day and away day, see if you won, it was brilliant. See if you could beat it, still brilliant. You know what I mean? Honestly, them boys, like you could have went to, like I've seen us going to Derby, and you're winning the game, and then you get beat, and you're gutted. You know what I mean? The players are gutted. You've went on a trip. You get on the bus, you're gutted, and then about 10 minutes in the trip, them boys are lit, and they're bouncing, and you're going to yourself like any other team, the fans would be giving you a bit of stick, like, but these boys are just, don't care. They're just loving it. You know what I mean? If you show a bit of fight for the shirt and a bit of passion for them boys, and they just absolutely loved it. Honestly, they made you feel 100 foot high. Like it was just cloud nine every time.
Class. That's what you want to play for, though, isn't it? Like, although you get managers and stuff bringing up, but if you've got fans, especially at our level, you're going, fuck, this is good. This is good that they're bouncing about. Like, but in terms of, I said to a few lads just to like send in questions and stuff throughout the day, really. Gary Bell basically was one on Twitter there asking you what your best football memory is growing up.
Best football memory growing up? Well, as I touched on it earlier, obviously it's nothing to do with a team, but one of the best memories football-wise is because we don't have a football pitch anywhere near us, so we always used to build our own wooden nets and stuff. But we're up, the factory used to be up in the industrial estate called Baywa, and they had a company football team.
Yeah.
So they had a football pitch, but we had noticed obviously that the grass was long and used it, so we went up one day and we with the security guy, and they says, "Mate, using them nets?" And the man says, "Don't think so." He says, "Look, could we take them?" The guy says, "Look," he says, I'll ask the question." So he says, "Wait there for 10 minutes." So me and the mates and the brothers were standing there, and the guy came back and he says, "The guy says if you can get them out, you can take them." So of course, I don't bother. So down to the houses, a couple of spades. So we're dragging them across the field, and obviously where it's at, Bay Hill. So we got them up the hill, and where we were trying to get them to was down the road. So you had a whole road to go down, and then down in through another estate in the middle of the New Park pitch. And I can remember the guy saying, "Where are you taking that thing?" He says, "New Park." He says, "How are you ever going to get it down there? You'll never get it down there, that thing." He says, "We'll get it down." So of course we got it up to the top of Colside, and next minute the skateboards came out. So there's 5 or 6 fellas, a couple of skateboards, with this big metal football net with netting and everything on it, coming down through the estate, cars coming up the road, us boys trying to control this metal, not scalping anybody's car, and people just looking out, going, just shaking their heads, just knowing obviously these boys are business, like. And so we ended up, we got the net down in the New Park, mate. Got it cemented in and stuff. But just the look on people's faces when you're flying down the road there with a football net, a proper full size football net on a couple of skateboards. You know what I mean? But that was one of them. That was quality. Like another one was probably I don't know if you remember or not. Playing up Shore Road, and you're playing a team and the dog were on the pitch, and everybody sort of and fucking we had no keeper because obviously I was scared of dogs. And the dog came on the pitch and I had bolted off, and the referee didn't know what was going on because obviously there's no keeper and everybody's laughing, going, "The fuck."
I didn't see before or when you done that. I didn't realize why. Like you were scared of dogs. I was like, for fuck's sake, it's only a dog. And I was like, oh, Ballyclare, right, that's right. Like, fuck.
No, that's they're two the best memories growing up as a kid. Like, as I say, obviously as I got older, getting a cap for Northern Ireland was another one. But honestly, just getting to play any type of football at any level was just brilliant for me because it just, when I was on the pitch, it was just nothing could touch me. It was just, I was doing my thing and I was just in probably a happy place, and that was it. Just getting the freedom to do what I wanted.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that. Honestly, I have to go with probably Eddie Hill, mate. Just for the fact that he knows that league, knows what it's about, and I think that group of lads under Eddie would just excel. To be honest,
Yeah.
absolutely, mate. I think honestly, I think if he had that team, I know he did try to sign Big Kelly, but if he had that team, they'd walk that league, no problem.
Yeah. Unreal, mate. But that's us. So thanks very much for coming on, guys.
Not a problem. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me and not making too much fun of me.
Nah. Thanks very much for coming on, mate. Just
No
got
problem.
to